Just beyond the imposing shadow of Monks Mound, archaeologists discovered something that would transform our understanding of Cahokian scientific knowledge. In a clearing west of the central plaza, a pattern of large post holes arranged in a perfect circle emerged from the earth, physical evidence of what scholars now call Woodhenge, an astronomical observatory of remarkable precision built by people often dismissed as technologically unsophisticated. When archaeologist Warren Whittrey first uncovered these post holes in the 1960s, their purpose remained elusive. While excavating near Monks Mound, Whittrey noticed an unusual circular pattern of large pits filled with different soil than their surroundings. These weren't random features, Whittrey later noted in his field journal. Something deliberate was happening here. Each pit once held massive wooden posts, some estimated to be up to 20 feet tall and a foot in diameter. What initially appeared mysterious soon revealed itself as a carefully designed celestial observatory, an ancient clock tower that measured both time and destiny for the people of Cahokia. The most extensively studied Woodhenge, known as Woodhenge 3, consisted of 48 posts arranged in a circle approximately 410 feet in diameter. The structure featured precise astronomical alignments. The eastern post aligns perfectly with the sunrise on the equinoxes, while other specifically placed posts mark the sunrise positions on the summer and winter solstices when viewed from the center of the circle. These alignments were remarkably precise. When modern astronomers calculated where these posts would need to be positioned to mark these solar events 1,000 years ago, accounting for the slight changes in Earth's axial tilt over time, the results matched the archaeological evidence with striking accuracy. For Cahokians to achieve this level of astronomical precision, they needed to conduct careful observations over many years, documenting subtle changes in the sun's position. Archaeologists have identified at least 5 different woodhenges constructed at Cahokia over time, each built with slight modifications to the previous design. This suggests an ongoing process of scientific refinement, observations leading to adjustments in the calendar system to improve accuracy. The earliest Woodhenge was built around 900 CE, while the most recent dates to approximately 1100 CE, representing 2 centuries of astronomical observation and scientific development. For an agricultural society like Cahokia, accurate tracking of seasonal changes was crucial for survival. The Woodhenge functioned as both a practical calendar and a ceremonial site, allowing leaders to coordinate planting and harvesting with precision. Imagine the spectacle as the sun rose between specific posts on significant dates, with thousands of Cahokians gathered to witness the alignment that signaled the beginning of spring planting or fall harvest. These solar observations also structured Cahokia's religious ceremonies and political authority. The ability to predict celestial events would have given Cahokian leaders and priests tremendous influence, as they appeared to control cosmic forces through their specialized knowledge. The central observation point where a priest or leader would stand to witness these alignments was elevated on a small platform, physically placing them between earth and sky during these cosmic moments. What makes Cahokia's Woodhenge particularly significant is how it challenges our understanding of scientific knowledge development across cultures. Similar astronomical observatories existed in Europe, most famously Stonehenge in England, yet the Cahokian version receives far less recognition despite comparable precision. While Stonehenge used stone for permanence, Cahokians adapted to their environment by using the abundant timber resources of the Mississippi Valley, creating a structure that served the same scientific purpose through different materials. The circular design of the observatory reflects their cosmological understanding of the universe as layered and circular, with connections between celestial movements and earthly events. This sophisticated approach to timekeeping formed the foundation of their calendar system, which regulated both practical activities and religious ceremonies throughout the year. Archaeological evidence suggests that the Woodhenge was part of a larger ceremonial complex that included nearby mounds and plazas. The central observation point of Woodhenge 3 aligns not only with solar positions but also with key monuments including Monks Mound, creating a sacred landscape where astronomical, political, and religious power converged. This integration of science, spirituality, and governance reveals a worldview where these elements weren't separated as they often are in modern Western thinking. What struck me most, Whitry remarked years after his discovery, was the realization that these people achieved astronomical precision without telescopes or written calculations. It forces us to reconsider what we thought we knew about indigenous scientific capabilities. When European explorers and settlers first encountered the remnants of these sophisticated structures, they refused to believe they had been built by indigenous peoples. Early accounts attributed the mounds and other features to lost civilizations, mysterious races, or even biblical tribes, anything except acknowledging that Native Americans possessed this level of scientific and engineering knowledge. This denial persisted well into the 20th century, despite clear archaeological evidence to the contrary. When Woodhenge is reconstructed today at Cahokia Mound State Historic Site, visitors can witness the same astronomical alignments that Cahokians observed a millennium ago. Standing at the center of the circle as the sun rises above a marker post during the equinox creates a profound connection across time, a shared human experience of observing celestial patterns that transcends cultural boundaries. Social stratification and governance in Cahokia. While indigenous scientific traditions developed across the Americas, the social structures supporting these achievements were equally sophisticated. Beneath the surface of Cahokia's impressive monuments lies revelatory evidence of a society far more stratified and complex than most historical accounts acknowledge. When archaeologists examined burial sites throughout the region, they discovered stark contrasts that fundamentally challenged simplified views of pre-Columbian societies. Elaborate tombs filled with thousands of prestigious artifacts alongside mass graves containing individuals with virtually no possessions. The most dramatic evidence of Cahokia's social hierarchy comes from Mound 72, where excavations in the 1960s uncovered over 270 burials revealing profound status differences. At the center was the beaded burial, a high-status male estimated to be in his 40s when he died. He was placed on a platform meticulously crafted from approximately 20,000 marine shell beads arranged in the distinctive shape of a falcon or thunderbird, a powerful symbol in indigenous cosmology. This single burial contained more wealth than hundreds of others combined, with the shell beads representing enormous economic value, having been transported from the Gulf Coast hundreds of miles away. The shell-beaded cape required an estimated 1.5 million hours to produce and assemble, representing years of specialized labor. Nearby, archaeologists found the remains of 4 sacrificed individuals, likely attendants meant to accompany this ruler into the afterlife. This practice parallels burial customs found in other complex societies worldwide, from ancient China to Egypt. In sharp contrast, just meters away lay several mass graves containing the remains of young women, likely sacrificed as part of elaborate funerary rituals. Forensic analysis revealed that many had been strangled or suffered blunt force trauma before burial. In another section of the same mound, archaeologists discovered a pit containing the remains of 53 women between the ages of 15 and 25, all evidently sacrificed at the same time. The meticulous arrangement of these bodies suggests carefully orchestrated religious ceremonies reinforcing the extreme power differentials within Cahokian society. Daily life in Cahokia reflected these stark status differences. While an elite resident might start their day in a spacious wall trench house with imported copper ornaments and specialized pottery vessels for ritual feasting, a commoner would wake in a simple single-room dwelling with few possessions beyond basic tools. The elite person would likely consume corn cakes and venison served by attendants, while the common worker subsisted on basic porridge and occasional small game, spending their day laboring on construction projects or producing goods that would ultimately flow upward through Cahokia's social hierarchy. Residential patterns provide further evidence of stratification. Archaeological surveys have identified distinct neighborhoods organized by occupation and social status. Areas closest to Monks Mound and the Grand Plaza contained larger structures with more prestige goods, suggesting elite residential zones. Outlying areas featured smaller dwellings with fewer luxury items. Between these zones were neighborhoods dedicated to specific crafts, areas for shell bead production, pottery making, and stone tool manufacturing, indicating specialized occupational groups. The distribution of exotic goods throughout Cahokia offers another window into social hierarchy. Items made from copper, mica, marine shells, and high-quality chert were concentrated in elite contexts. These materials originated from distant regions, copper from the Great Lakes, marine shells from the Gulf Coast, and mica from the Appalachian Mountains, suggesting elite control of long-distance trade networks. Feasting evidence reveals important social dynamics. Specialized pottery vessels and food remains indicate that certain households hosted large communal meals featuring rare foods like venison and passenger pigeon. These feasting events served as political tools through which elites demonstrated wealth and reinforced status by distributing food to supporters. Religious authority was similarly concentrated among elites. Artifacts associated with the southeastern ceremonial complex, including falcon imagery, ceremonial maces, and human figurines, appear primarily in elite contexts. This suggests that religious knowledge and ritual authority were restricted, with elites serving as intermediaries between the general population and supernatural forces, a hallmark of stratified societies worldwide, where control over cosmic order legitimizes political authority. The mobilization of labor for monumental construction provides compelling evidence of centralized governance. The construction of Monks Mound alone required thousands of workers coordinated over generations. The 50-acre Grand Plaza required earth-moving on a massive scale, with some areas being filled with up to 6 feet of soil. Between 1050 and 1100 CE, Cahokians also built a massive palisade wall around the central precinct, requiring an estimated 20,000 logs from old-growth trees. These projects demonstrate a governing system capable of organizing large workforces and maintaining social cohesion over extended periods. The presence of outlying settlements within Cahokia's sphere of influence suggests a political hierarchy extending beyond the city itself. Satellite communities contained their own mound complexes, but were clearly subordinate to the main center. Food and craft goods flowed from these settlements into Cahokia, suggesting tribute relationships characteristic of early state-level societies. Archaeological evidence suggests that Cahokia's political structure evolved over time. The period before 1050 CE shows less pronounced social differentiation, but the rapid construction of monumental architecture after this date coincides with increased evidence of status differences, possibly representing a shift from a more egalitarian tribal structure to a centralized chiefdom or early state.